Venom! No, not really. Yeah, we're not going to see that.
No.
But today we are back after a long hiatus where we didn't even know when we were going to be back. So, what are we going to see? Ladies and gentlemen, today we are taking our foray into Oscar bait on StillerBros with the movies with A Star Is Born.
This movie has been in the works for a while. At a time, Clint Eastwood was going to be directing it with Beyonce starring. And I assumed Bradley Cooper was going to be the male lead as well, but some stuff changed around.
Instead, Bradley Cooper is directing. He co-wrote the script, or at least a draft of the script. He's like third credited writer.
Yeah.
But he co-wrote the script. He's making his directorial debut on it. He is starring in it. He co-wrote a lot of the songs on the soundtrack because Bradley Cooper, despite not being a musician before this, made a musical.
Yes, and then we also have the big star-making performance of Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga is already a star for singing, and she already has acted in a few things, but
this is her first starring role in a movie, and she's gotten a huge amount of praise. Gaga, and we were never on the hate bandwagon for Gaga, but it probably wasn't until she started to tone back the more extravagant outfits that we started to be a little more fans of hers.
I mean, she's always been a talented vocalist, and now that when she started to strip it down a bit and actually go to a bit more to things like A Million Reasons, even to some of the stuff on Born This Way is really awesome.
Yeah. So, but now that she's kind of stripping back the whole weird extravagant costume thing. So. And now this is a different kind of thing for her altogether, starring in a movie.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, this is also kind of a weird connection to the last remake of A Star Is Born. Because you see, this is the fourth official iteration of A Star Is Born. It's not the fourth overall version of A Star Is Born, because this is the kind of the formula that Hollywood has been kind of milking for years in various different ways to make something. But this is the fourth official version of A Star Is Born. We have not seen any of the prior ones, even though the 1960s one with Barbra Streisand and Kris Kristofferson is on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
While the last one had Kris Kristofferson and a big star-making turn for Streisand, this is Bradley Cooper essentially playing more off the Kris Kristofferson role, because originally this was about actors. Now it became about singers in the last one.
Yeah. But there's stuff he's doing in this one that's obviously homage to the first two as well.
Yeah. But overall, this movie and it's kind of interesting, certain things that they've got going for, certain casting choices at least. Like, for example, Andrew Dice Clay, who after the early 90s, people started to really stop giving a shit about.
And it's mostly because he really just showed off that he was really, that his edgelord, and it was really because by the mid 90s, that kind of edgelord, I'm saying cock, so that's funny, comedy kind of started to die away. But
Andrew Dice Clay is in this, Dave Chappelle is in this, and according to one of the trailers, they give him like a speech, and I'm like, they gave Dave Chappelle a speech, and we found out what his character's name was.
Noodles.
His name is Noodles. Give a character named Noodles the trailer speech, and he made him played by Dave Chappelle. So I guess he's Rick James then, bitch? That's the cleanest Dave Chappelle reference I can make.
And then we have Sam Elliott playing Bradley Cooper's brother.
Despite, like, I don't know, a 30-year age difference between the two of them.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But ultimately, it's obviously not an original idea. It's obviously been done a million times before. But let's see what Bradley Cooper does to make it different from every other version that's come before it.
Well, for one thing, the music is actually being done by Lucas Nelson, the son of Willie Nelson, who is also, in his own right, a big star, are in the old country blues rock world, which is basically the style of music that they decided Bradley Cooper's character needs to do.
Yeah, so him and Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga all got into a room together and wrote a bunch of most of the songs that they do in the movie, or the original songs they do in the movie.
So overall, the whole thing is just basically going to be a big, and as big music geeks like that, and as big geeks for music like that, I think we're going to really enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird we're out in the sunlight doing this.
Yeah, it's going to be weird that we're going to be out in the sunlight going back home.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's see you after the jump.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get started on this, I want to show off. The movie theater is handing out tissues in front of the theater that was showing A Star is Born. And look what they say on them. Yeah. Or if that's going to come out backwards, it says, because your favorite character probably dies at the end. Anyway, so I really, really, really liked that movie.
Yeah.
For the whole first half of the movie, I was stunned at just how good it legitimately was.
There's a lot of like one takes, and it's got like this amazing visual style to it.
Bradley Cooper's a good director, but then again, when you work with guys like Clint Eastwood, David O. Russell, and all kinds of great directors, the odds are you're going to learn stuff like that.
Yeah.
And overall, I think that it's a really, really good movie. And so let's get into it. Bradley Cooper does a fantastic job as an actor in this movie. He's pushing himself to do some really emotional scenes, but mostly because he kind of wrote himself some emotional scenes.
But really, what drives this movie completely, because this is her movie. She's in the majority. She's in it a lot more than Bradley Cooper is, and that's Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga is kind of a revelation in this, even though, as we stated before, she has acted in other stuff. She's done SNL, The Simpsons, and I think only one season of American Horror Story, but I don't know if she'd done. But I'm not 100% sure she's done others. But
Gaga in this is beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
She's doing this entire performance as just kind of gives us this whole thing where her emotions bleed out into the whole movie, and it's just fantastic to see.
She pushes herself to limits that you wouldn't think she could go. Like most pop singers turned actors, you don't think they can get to that level of acting, but she did it and then some.
And the thing is, there probably will not be another role so tailor-made for her in her entire career.
Her chemistry with Bradley Cooper is just fantastic. You feel these two people just going through this whirlwind romance.
And Andrew Dice Clay is really good in this. I don't know why people are talking him up so much, because I don't know, he's not really in the movie a lot, and they don't really give him something huge to do. I mean, he's good he's good in the movie, but he doesn't get. But MVP really, probably Sam Elliott.
Oh, Sam Elliott, definitely.
I mean, there is just a whole points where Sam Elliott, who plays the long-suffering brother of Bradley Cooper's character, just basically shows in every word he speaks, every emotion on his face, basically just says everything he needs to say with it.
He is on the verge of these. He has these amazing emotional moments where you feel like this is it. And there's subtleties in the way that him and Bradley Cooper interact that to show the deterioration of Bradley Cooper's character. Like, at first it seems like we hear certain things about Bradley Cooper talking about certain things, and it's like I don't understand why he keeps not having people repeat stuff, and then it's like he's losing it, and then it takes a little while, and it's like he's losing his hearing.
And that's kind of a thing in this. It's a lot. I don't know, and I think we benefited by not seeing any of the prior versions of A Star is Born or anything like that. because we don't know, because we legitimately for right now do not know if the what is gonna. We know the story because this is not because this is only the fourth official remake of A Star Is Born. They've been doing this story over and over again of the older, kind of losing his way performer finding a new young protege. They fall in love. He finds what he was looking. He finds himself for the first time in forever. That is not the only time we've seen this.
Yeah.
But overall, that whole thing is just we just are seeing this basically for the first time. Now, I think it's time to talk about the biggest thing we got for this. The music. One sec. We bought the album in the time that deluxe edition. Oh, just a poster. But yeah, in the time in that jump cut, we bought the album because the music is that good, guys.
Yeah.
Even the dance track, even the Lady Gaga's dance tracks are still that good.
Yeah, that's another good aspect of this movie is that they didn't play it off like, oh, she doesn't want to do this, but they're making her do this or anything. It's. She's saying, this is her. It seems like her stuff. Like the character wants to do this stuff.
Now, granted, there's still the element of just essentially, they're pushing a few little things on her, but it's not like they're changing her. It's not like they're changing her from a true singer-songwriter like Joni Mitchell type into basically a Madonna clone, like pretty much every other version of this, like kind of a lesser version would have. It's essentially, no, this is kind of what she wants. It's just they're kind of pushing a bunch of they're just kind of pushing the idea of dancers for a more personal song and all kinds of other stuff like that. So, but that plot point just comes in and then goes away, so it's not all that cliche.
Yeah.
Really, kind of the focus is not where her career is going, but more her relationship with Bradley Cooper's character.
Yeah, that's pretty much the entire crux of the movie is the relationship between these two characters.
And essentially the main idea being his issues and how the two of them deal with it. And I think a big part of it is that whole. And I think in a way that relationship is well built on that.
And their chemistry, again, it helps with that as well. You feel for these two people who are just so that they just fall head over heels for each other, and they just come together.
And it's just like instant. You feel the whole. The second the two of them meet, you almost feel the connection, and then they spend their first interactions together. They get this entire whole rapport between the two of them. It's really good. And the writing, the directing, the music is really, it's fantastic. If you get anything from this, just know that the soundtrack, that you need to buy the soundtrack for this.
Yeah.
Because surprisingly, Bradley Cooper is a really good singer and I don't know how much he really contributed to be considered a songwriter, but it's enough that but I really think he did a good job co-writing the songs he sang on and everything like that.
Yeah. And it's just this beautiful, it just ends on this beautiful melancholy note, and that just will make you just feel emotional and well up with all of these emotions.
It really, and with this, and really, Lady Gaga's last song in the movie is so, I Will Always Love You from The Bodyguard, in every good way, that you just know that this is their Oscar song, and not just because it's on the sound. There's 3 separate versions on the soundtrack alone. I mean, what else can be said? Oh, I stopped crying during the credits because there's the producer's credits includes Todd Phillips, the director of the Hangover movies, and I just thought that was funny that if this thing gets nominated for an Oscar, when this thing gets nominated for an Oscar, let's face it, the Academy's going to throw a bunch of nominations at this thing. That means that the director of the Hangover movies is going to be at the Oscars. So that's something that we never thought we'd have to look at.
Well, we never thought thought he would direct a Joker movie, a Joker origin movie either. So
Yeah, so and that's another thing that's coming.
yeah, but we got a bunch of different amazing stuff coming together. Dave Chappelle has this amazing kind of moments in the movie. He's not in it for very long, but when he's in it,
It's fun.
he's got some good stuff to him.
It's fun. By the way, there's some surprisingly funny moments in this movie, kind of. I feel like a big thing about it is the dialogue is a bit more naturalistic, kind of. It kind of feels like real conversations with the way they're talking over each other and everything like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's Sorkin-esque because that I know other people write dialogue like that, but
Yeah.
and also it's not really really nearly cerebral enough to be Sorkin-esque.
Plus, there's a lot more swearing than in a Sorkin movie.
Yeah, but in the long run, it is real. The dialogue does feel like a real conversation, just the way that they are delivering it, which I guess we can also credit for Bradley Cooper's direction.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, this movie's good, and every good thing you've heard about it is true. And also, fun fact: the cinematographer for this movie also was the cinematographer for Venom, the movie that kicked its ass at the box office.
So good for him.
For getting 2 movies at the top of the box office charts in the same weekend. Well, we're almost home now, guys. So, anything else you need to say?
I got nothing.
All right, so Star is Born, go see it. But if you were into this kind of movie, then you were probably going to go see it anyway. So be sure to favorite, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave in the comments below what you thought of A Star is Born, and be sure to tune in next time when it's one small step for man, one giant leap for all mankind. Bye.